Hey everybody, I'm going to show you guys how to deploy your Next.js app with KindAuth onto Vercel. So first of all, I'll show you my app. This is what my app looks like. When I click sign in, it takes me to the Kind sign in. So I'll just sign in and show you that it works. Cool. Popped in my email and password, and you can see now that I'm signed in as Helena Egan. And this matches what we've got here under users. So there I am, Helena Egan, and that's my email. So that's me logging in with Kind. Now what I'm going to do here is deploy my app because I think it's production ready. So to deploy your app onto Vercel, you just have to go to vercel.com, create an account. I've just got a hobby account here, and under overview, I'm just going to create a new project. So add new project. And you can see here, this big box over here says import Git repository. So I'm going to make a Git repo. So if I go back to my project, this already has a Git thing, but I'll just show you all of the commands that you need to do. So inside your terminal here, let's just do git init. So mine has been reinitialized. And I don't know how to do it all from the command line, but I know how to do it on GitHub. So I'm going to create a new repo here. I'm going to call this one Lumen. Create the repo. And I'm just going to follow these. So I'm pushing an existing repo from the command line. So just copy each of these commands and pop them in there. Git add remote origin. Git branch -m main. Git push -u origin. So that should push my project up onto GitHub. It's asking me for passphrase. Let's see. Cool. This is good news. The fact that you can see that. So that means on this new Git repo, it should have pushed all of my code up there. So if I just give it a refresh, you should see all of the code. Nice. Awesome. Okay, so the project is now up onto GitHub. So that means I can now pop it onto Vercel pretty easily. So all I got to do is search for Lumen. There it is. And I'm going to import that. So I'm going to keep the project name as Lumen. Framework is Next.js. How smart is that? Build and output settings. We can leave that the same. And environment variables here, I'm just going to grab from my project. So here's my environment. Here are my environment variables. I'm just going to copy all of it. Command C. Inside here, and then just Command V. Isn't that lovely? Now, at this stage, the thing that you're gonna have to change is these values here. So these localhost values here. So the reason why we have it as localhost right now is because I've taken it from my env.local. So that's that was when I was working on localhost 3000. So you can see here, localhost 3000, and that's why it works. But when I deploy it, it's going to be on a new domain. It's not going to be on localhost 3000 anymore. It's going to be on one that Vercel provides me, but I don't actually know what that is right now. I wonder if you can work it out from this page. Not so sure about that, but what I'll do is I'll just leave it as localhost 3000 and just expect an error. And I can always come back in and change it when I do find the Vercel domain. So let's just click deploy here, and we're gonna let that go and build, deploy, all of that good stuff, and then I'll check back in once it's done. Cool. All right, it says congratulations, you just deployed a new project to Vercel. Awesome, it looks great. Let's continue to the dashboard, and then on this dashboard you can actually see that Vercel domain that we have to use to replace localhost 3000. So let's just let it load. I'm using my, so there it is, lumen.vercel.app. If I click on it, it's going to take me to lumen.vercel.app, which is awesome. And let's just try sign in, might as well, let's see. So click sign in. Okay, it's taken us over here, which is awesome. Pop the password in and continue. And it's sent us back to localhost 3000, which is not what we want. We want us to send us back to lumen.vercel.app. Right, so it's not working as intended. We're not even signed in here. So let's fix that. And we can do that by just going to settings, environment variables on Vercel. And then remember, it's the site URL, post login redirect URL, and the post logout and post login redirect URLs. So pretty much anywhere you see localhost 3000, you're going to replace it with that new domain from Vercel. So I'm going to copy this, edit, paste, and just to be safe, I'm going to get rid of that trailing slash, save that. So the post logout redirect URL as well, removing that trailing slash, and here for the dashboard, leave that dashboard there for post login. Let's give that a save. Awesome. Okay, so our environment variables have been fixed, and let's redeploy. So to redeploy, just go to deployments. You should have one deployment. Come on and load, buddy. And then we're just gonna click redeploy there. Give it a refresh. Lovely skeleton loading. Oh, there you go. And let's just click on these three dots and redeploy. Boom. Redeploy. Awesome. So that's going to be redeploying with the new environment variables, and we should hopefully see it working. If it's not working, there's one other thing that we do have to check. All right, so it looks like it's now done. I'm going to visit that domain. Okay, looks good. Click sign in. Oh, something's happened. So invalid callback URL. The callback URL provided is invalid. You provided Lumen Vercel app API auth kind callback. And that's because we're trying to log in from this domain. However, we haven't set the callbacks on kind. So this is expected. If you go back to your kind app, head to home, you can just click that, and then going under, you can go under settings applications, but you actually have the applications on the dashboard here. So my Next.js backend app, grab the details for that. And under these callback URLs, can you see once again, we have localhost 3000. We're going to replace those with our new domain, our new Vercel domain. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add both. So I'm going to keep the localhost 3000 one, but I'm also going to add on a new line the lumen.vercel one. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to use this kind app both locally and also in production. So let's save that. And now from lumen.vercel.app, if I try sign in, we got no error. peterfanalong@gmail.com, pop in that password. And nice, woohoo, we're logged in. And one thing I do want you guys to notice is that we are actually logged in as Helena Egan. It didn't ask us to create a new account or anything. So this means that our local environment and also our deployed environment, they're actually using the same kind app. So they're sharing all of this data here. So they're sharing the users.